Welcome back to Seyombidi Made Easy channel, the only channel in Ghana exam fears. Now, today I welcome you to the type 2 of probability, which involves the tossing of a coin. We all know a coin. So, in football, before they play the match, a coin is tossed. Both teams are asked to choose a side of a coin. So, when it is tossed fairly, the part that turns up, it means the person has won. It also involves probability. So in coin, you choose where you want. Coin has two sides, we know. In mathematics, for the sake of the coin, we label it head. So the sample space on the coin is either you get a head or you get a tail. The two sides cannot show at one side at the same time, you know. So it's either you get a head or a tail. So the sample space of when the coin is tossed once. So you get either a head or tail. So the sample space of when a coin is tossed once is 2. Yes, because you can get a head or you can get a tail. Now, what you have to understand is that they will tell you 2 coins are tossed at the same time. When 2 coins are tossed at the same time, it's the same as tossing 1 coin twice. Yes, it's the same as tossing 1 coin twice. And the sample space in tossing a coin once is different from tossing a coin twice or thrice. So you have to understand it that when you toss 2 coins once, it's the same as tossing 1 coin twice. Yes, so you have to know the sample space in tossing a coin either once, twice, or thrice, depending on the number of coins given. So with this, we are going to take our first question involving tossing a coin. Then we see how that one too is done. So the first question says that a fair coin is tossed once. What is the probability of obtaining a head? A fair coin is tossed once. Why do we say fair? When you throw the coin, sometimes we leave it. Nobody touches it. We don't want to be biased. That's why I say a fair coin. So what is the probability of obtaining a head? So what we have to know is the sample space or total outcome. So sample space, we can get a head or a tail. These are the likely possibility we are going to get, or the likely results we are going to get. Either we get a head or tail. The question says probability of obtaining a head is equal to the total head, or we can say number of heads out of the sample space. Yes. How many heads do we have? It is 1. Total sample space is 2. So we have 1 out of 2. So you can get 1 head. Yes, you can get 1 head out of the 2 possible outcomes. Yes, but when it was the coin, it's either you get the head once or maybe you get the tail. So to obtain the head, when the fair coin is tossed once, is 1 out of 2. So this is how it is done. We are taking the next question.
So a fair coin is tossed twice. Write down the possible outcomes. What's the probability of obtaining exactly 2 heads, no head, at least 1 head, a head and a tail? A fair coin is tossed twice. It's the same as tossing 2 coins once. Yes. So a fair coin is tossed twice. So you have to know the possible outcome. So 2n. And n is equal to 2. 2 is the number of times the coin is tossed. So this one will be 2, which is 2 times 2. So it means 4. You are expecting 4 outcomes. Yes, you are expecting 4 outcomes. So I have a way of doing it. So you can have a head here, tail, that's for 1 coin. Then you can have a head, then tail for another coin. So you can draw a table for it. So you can get a head and a head. Then when you throw it, you can get head from both sides. You can get a head and tail from one side. You can get tail and head. Then you can also get tail and tail. So the possible outcome, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So possible outcome. The possible outcome, we have head, head. We have head, tail, tail, head, and tail, tail. So this is the possible outcome you get in this question. So the I says find the probability of obtaining exactly 2 heads. Yes, probability of obtaining exactly 2 heads. Exactly 2 heads. Now exactly 2 heads, how many do we have? So we have only 1 out of the total outcome, which is 4. So exactly 2 heads is 1 out of the total outcome, which is 4. That is exactly 2 heads. Now II says probability of no head. So which of the outcomes doesn't have a head? There's a head here, there's a head here, so tail, tail has no head. So that one to give us 1 out of 4. Now I. Probability of at least 1 head. So at least 1 head means that in the outcome, which one of them has at least 1 head? It can be more than 1, but it should be at least 1 head. So this one is 2 heads, so it qualifies. 1 head qualifies. 1 head qualifies. This one does not qualify. So at least 1 head. We have 1, 2, 3. So we have 3 out of 4. That is at least 1 head. At least 1 head. So then a head and a tail. Probability of picking a head and a tail. This one is 2 heads. It doesn't qualify. A head and a tail, it qualifies. This one is tail and head. It also qualifies. Yes, there's a head and tail here, head and tail. This one is tail, tail. It doesn't qualify. So we have 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4, breaking it down, give us 1 out of 2. So the probability of obtaining these ones are the ones we have done here. So 2 coins, head, tail, head, tail. So first of all, you can predict the total outcome as 4, then you solve it. It's so simple. So we are taking the next question involving 3 coins. So the third question says 3 fair coins are tossed once. 3 fair coins are tossed once. It's the same as tossing a fair coin thrice or 3 times. Yes. So there's a way in doing it. First of all, you have to know your possible outcome. So as I said, so 2n. So n is going to be 3 because you are tossing it 3 times. So we have 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So we are expecting 8 outcomes. Now there's a way in doing it. So first of all, you write 8 divided by 2 and you get 4. Now when you get 4, you write 4 heads and 4 tails. 4 heads, 4 tails. Then you write 4 divided by 2, which will give you 2. So head, head, again, tail, tail, head, head, tail, tail. You get 2. Then 2 divided by 1. Sorry, 2 divided by 2, and you get 1. So here we head, tail, head, tail, head, tail, and tail. So here, when you divided 8 divided by 2, you got 4. So 4 head, 4 tails. Then you divide 4 by 2 again. So it means 2 heads, 2 tail, 2 heads, 2 tail again. Then you divide 2 by 2, you get 1. 1 head, 1 tail, 1 head, 1 tail, 1 head, 1 tail, 1 head, 1 tail. Yes. So here, now the possible outcomes, let's count and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 outcomes. So what do you see here? We have, you can group them in a bracket. So the possible outcome. So the possible outcome. So the possible outcome, we have head, head, head. Then we have head, head, tail. Then we have head, tail, head. We have head, tail, tail. Then we have tail, head, head. Then we have tail, head, tail. Then we have tail, tail, head. Then we have tail, tail, tail. So this will be the possible outcome for tossing coin 3 times. Tossing the coin 3 times. So the next question is probability of obtaining exactly 2 heads. Exactly 2 heads. So we can look here or look here. This one is 3 heads. It doesn't qualify. So we have 1 here, 2, 3. So we have only 3. So it's going to be 3 out of 8. Exactly 2 heads. So which of the outcomes has exactly 2 heads? 1 here, 2, 3. 2 heads. Now, the next one says, probability of no tail. No tail. So which of them doesn't have any tail? So we have 1. Yes, the rest of them has tails inside. So it's only 1. So that one is 1 out of 8. Yes, 1 out of 8. So the third one says that probability of at least a tail. At least a tail. So which of them has at least 1 tail? It can be more than 1. At least a tail. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at least a tail gives us 7 out of 8. At least a tail. 7 out of 8. So it's about knowing how to list the possible outcome. Then the rest of them will be very easy for you to solve. So this brings us to the end of the type 2 of probability. Now watch out for type 3 on probability, which involves the rolling of a die. Yes, rolling of a die. So we will end here by saying don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Recommend to everyone who wants to learn mathematics that we have the best math channel here to solve all our mathematics problems. Now to meet again, say goodbye for now.